count. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to GBTV Just In Kids. We are here today with our special guest, Miss Niki, Miss Niki, guess what, has a special guest for us. Would you like to introduce our extra guest today?
I will. You know what? I have to wake him up because he's a really heavy sleeper. Hello. Hello, Ridley. Say hi to the audience. This is Ridley.
Hi, Ridley.
He is the grumpiest sea turtle out there. He's really grumpy because we woke him up. But he has some fun things to share with us, so he's got to be here.
All right. Well, Ridley, he looks like he's waking up a little bit.
He is. He's here. He's excited.
Well, Ridley, how about we let Miss Niki talk about one of her new exciting books she has for us today.
All right, Ridley, what do you think? Is that a good idea? Okay, don't be shy. Come on. They want to see it. Okay. So the first book we have, now this is brand new, you guys, is called Can You Catch a Swamp Monster? No, I'm not talking about you. No, Ridley, it's not about you. You're not a monster. Just scrappy sometimes. So this is sort of a choose your own adventure book, which is part of a series. It's very popular right now. And it's really great because the reader gets to take the part of a mystery podcaster. Ooh. And you go on this adventure to try to determine, are swamp monsters real? So you do some research and you investigate. And here's the cool thing. Everybody that reads this book is going to have a different outcome because there's 20 different endings and 35 different choices that you can take, pathways.
That sounds awesome. Those were one of my favorite books when my kids were little. I think I liked them more than they did, but they weren't about swamp monsters. So come on, who does not want to read a choose your own adventure about a swamp monster?
I mean, what do you think? Do you think they exist, Elda? You've seen one before?
I have not seen one on the Fox River. However, I think maybe on a larger body of water, it's possible.
My goodness. Well, if you read this book, there's something about the Honey Island swamp monster and something about a lizard man. So I don't know. We'll have to check it out and see.
So really quickly, this is brand new.
Brand new, yes.
So has anybody even checked out this book yet?
What? Not yet.
All right, you guys, here's your chance.
It's true. Now, if you don't get here in time to catch this one, there are other ones in the series.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So do they have to go in order?
They do not have to go in order.
Okay, good to know.
And you're going to find them in our adventure section.
Okay.
In our youth materials.
Well, this is really exciting. So far, we're starting out pretty good, everybody.
We sure are, right, Ridley?
All right. Okay. Ridley looks like he's warming up to this,
He is. He's excited. He wants to know if there's a swamp monster. He said that he hasn't seen any either, so he doesn't believe it. But you never know.
Well, I'm going to go with Ridley. He spends more time in the water than we do.
He really does. He does. Even if he's in his shell too much. But, he's working on it. So, speaking of, swamps and the environment, we know that there's a special day coming up on April 22nd.
There sure is.
It is. It's Earth Day, Miss Elda.
I love Earth Day.
Isn't it fun?
Yes.
I mean, we get to celebrate our Earth. We get to talk about how we can keep it safe and healthy. Well, here is a book in honor of that, a brand new nonfiction. And here's the cool thing. It's also a graphic novel, so it's almost like a comic book style. And the cool thing about this book is it's both a story. You follow Isaac, who vandalized a community garden sign. And his punishment is to help out the community garden for 1 week. He's not a fan of this very much, He doesn't understand sustainability. He doesn't know why it's important. Well, through his 7-day journey, he learns all about different environmental words like wetlands and what sustainability even is.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. And, what do bees have to do with any of this? Well, not only is that kind of the backstory, but in there are instructions for every day that Isaac is helping out a different upcycle project. So there are 8 projects in this book, and they give you all the materials that you need. So they tell you what you need, where you can get them, and the instructions on how to do them. So a few examples are a rain barrel, how you can make your own rain barrel.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Just 3 materials. I won't tell you what they are because you got to check it out. A composting worm farm.
Ooh, worms.
I mean, who doesn't love a worm?
Right?
He says they're delicious. Just saying. A cereal box notebook. So yeah, you can make. I mean, aren't all of your notebooks made out of cereal boxes?
And how many cereal boxes do you have in your house right now?
And which one would you choose? What cereal do you use?
A really fun thing about this is, do you know that there would be no Earth without art?
Tell me more.
Well, A-R-T. Spell Earth. So you cannot have Earth without art. So I like that this book, right?
Oh, he thinks it's hilarious.
It is funny, but it's also really important. So this is, not only is it filled with a lot of artistic pictures, if you open it up, they're super colorful, but it is encouraging art.
It is.
So I like that.
There's lots of cool things to see in this book. And I won't tell you all of the projects and what happens at the very end of the week, because you're going to have to check it out. And again, if you don't get here fast enough, because these are going to go fast because they're that good, there are others in this series. So there are other Maker comics with different focuses if you can't manage to get this one. But be sure to put it on hold, because it's a good one.
I think we're very excited about the next one. Is somebody hungry?
He is. He's getting hungry. I think we said worms, and he just was like,
yep, I can tell.
I hear ya. Okay, so we've talked about monsters. We've talked about the earth. Let's talk about dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Not the kind you eat, though. So
That's
we got to have breakfast after this.
Absolutely. But we're all getting a little hungry after all these talks of worms and hot dogs and cereal. So this is actually this year's Caldecott winner. And this is all about a dog who, if you're like us right now, you're probably pretty hot with this unseasonably warm weather that we're having.
That's great, though.
Amazing, right? Well, this hot dog lives in the city, and he is tired of it. Tired of the traffic, tired of the noise. I mean, he doesn't have a shell like our friend Ridley here to hide in. So he just gives up and he decides, nope, I'm just going to stay right where I am. Well, fortunately, his owner decides, you know what? This calls for a day at the beach.
Oh, who does not love a day at the beach?
Right?
Hot dog.
Exactly. He was a hot dog, and now he's having a hot dog of a time.
Nice.
So follow Hot Dog as he goes to the beach. He finds something pretty cool. Hint, hint, it's on the cover, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to check out the book. And join this really cool new author, Doug Salati. Now, this is his first book as an author. He's done some illustration work before, but first book as an author. Pretty great winning the Caldecott.
Right, on your first time. Congratulations,
I
Doug.
hear ya. So yeah, I mean it's a great book. It's an easy read. It's in our early learning center, in our picture books. So a really good read. We finally got it after waiting so long for it, and so we have plenty of copies. So come check this out too, and cool down at the beach.
Miss Niki, thank you for sharing these books. Now tell me again, how do I get these books?
Well, of course, to get books here at the library, if you want to take them back to your shell, like Ridley, you need to have a library card. That magical thing that you can get at any of your local libraries with just a grown-up's ID that has their address on it and you're grown up.
Now, if I can't come to the library, if I have a card and I can't actually get to the library, I can get books other ways too, right?
You absolutely can. So there's an online registration, right?
Okay.
So you can fill it out online and you can access our e-content. And then you can come in when you have time, or you have a free moment, maybe after the beach, and come pick up your card.
And lunch.
That's right. Or you can always stop by and you can ask any of us here who can help you out if you don't have the materials that you need at that moment, or you can even read books here.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank Miss Niki, our special guest, and I want to thank Miss Niki's special guest. I'm glad that you look like you're happier now. Are you awake? Yes.
He's very happy. He's excited about these books.
He does look excited. He doesn't seem super grumpy anymore. So thank you very much. I'm excited because now I know I can learn how to build a rain barrel for Earth Day.
That's right.
On a hot day, I can take a dog to the beach with Doug's book. And I want to learn about swamp monsters and choose a good ending. I'm sure there's a really happy one. I'm sure there's a happy swamp monster somewhere in that book. So thank you, Miss Niki.
And with the library card, there are an abundance of books that you can try out. So if these three aren't for you, there are so many out there. In fact, we challenge you to guess how many we have because, hint, hint, it's more than 100,000.
Wow. Well, if you guys, I don't know how many you can see, but I am sitting here. I just want to go to that shelf and grab a book. So thank you again for pointing out these great books, Miss Niki.
Of course. Well, thank you for having me. And, I have to make sure I grab my library card because that's going to be important to have this summer.
Yep. Well, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.